Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about something super important that a lot of us tend to forget, especially when life gets overwhelming, focusing on your strengths and what makes you awesome. Yep, this video is all about learning to embrace your strengths and stop obsessing over your weaknesses. Alright, let's kick things off with a little story. So, imagine this, you're in high school and your math grades suck. Like, really bad. You're getting CS and DS even though you've tried everything, extra tutoring, late night study sessions, math YouTube videos, you name it. Meanwhile, your creative writing teacher can't stop praising your essays. You're the go-to person when it comes to school events that need posters or storytelling segments. You light up when you're doing creative stuff. But instead of celebrating that, you're sitting there thinking, why can't I just get math right? Sound familiar? We've all been there. The truth is, we're taught to focus on what we lack instead of doubling down on what we're naturally good at. But let me ask you this, if you were building a sports team, would you spend all your time trying to turn your goalie into a striker, or would you let your striker score and your goalie defend? Exactly. So why don't we do that with ourselves? Let me tell you another story. This one's about my friend Jess. Jess is an introvert. She used to think that was a bad thing, especially in a workplace full of loud, confident speakers. She tried to push herself to be more outgoing, but it only drained her. One day, she decided to flip the script. Instead of trying to become the life of the party, she leaned into her strengths, deep thinking, attention to detail, and amazing one-on-one conversations. She started excelling in roles that required empathy and focus, like UX design and user research. Fast forward a few years, she's now leading a team in a tech company and mentoring new hires, quietly, but powerfully. You see what I'm getting at? When we focus on our strengths, we're not just settling, we're thriving. We're making the most out of what we've got. And trust me, what you've got is more than enough. Let's take a second to bust a myth. Focusing on your strengths doesn't mean you ignore your weaknesses completely. It just means you're smart about where you put your energy. If you're not naturally great at public speaking, that's okay. Maybe you work better behind the scenes. Or maybe you practice just enough to get by, but you pour your heart into writing, planning, designing, analyzing, whatever it is that makes your brain go, yes. This. I love this. Here's another real-life example. My cousin, Alex, was obsessed with basketball. But honestly, he wasn't the best player on the court. He didn't have the speed or height for it. But he loved studying the game. He could remember stats like a computer, and he had this amazing ability to read strategies and predict plays. Eventually, he realized playing wasn't his strength, but coaching was. Now he's a high school coach and his teams are winning championships because of his unique insight. See? Still in the game, just in a role that matches his strengths. And this idea of focusing on your strengths applies to so many areas of life. Take careers, for example. A lot of people go into jobs because they think they should, not because they're actually using their strengths. That's why so many people feel unfulfilled. But imagine if more people actually aligned their careers with their strengths. We'd probably have happier workplaces, better productivity, and way less burnout. I remember reading this study once that said employees who use their strengths every day are 6 times more likely to be engaged at work. 6 times. That's huge. It just shows how much of a difference it makes when you're doing something you're naturally good at. Let's zoom in on another scenario. Meet Sam. Sam always felt like he was falling behind in life. His friends were getting promotions, starting businesses, moving abroad. Meanwhile, Sam was stuck in a job he didn't like. But what Sam was really good at was connecting with people. He had this natural charm, this ability to make everyone feel seen and heard. One day, a friend pointed out, you'd make an amazing counselor. That stuck with him. Long story short, Sam went back to school, studied psychology, and now runs his own mental health coaching business. He went from lost to leading, all because he started focusing on what he was already good at. Sometimes, we just need someone to point it out. So, if you're watching this and thinking, I don't even know what my strengths are, don't stress. Start by paying attention. What activities make you lose track of time? What do people thank you for? What do you find easy that others struggle with? Let's break this down even more with a little framework. We're going to use something I call the 3 C's: compliments, curiosity, and consistency. Compliments: what do people always compliment you on? Maybe it's your sense of humor, your ability to explain things clearly, or your knack for decorating a room. Curiosity: what topics or activities naturally spark your interest? The things you find yourself Googling at 2 a.m. might just be clues to your strengths. Consistency: what are you naturally consistent with? What do you stick to, even without external pressure? That's usually a sign of a deep-seated strength. Now here's where it gets fun. Take those clues and start testing them out. Volunteer for projects that let you use your strengths. Create content around them. Offer to help friends using those skills. The more you exercise your strengths, the more confident and capable you'll feel. Okay, one last story. This one's about me. Back in college, I thought I wanted to be a programmer. All my friends were getting tech jobs, and I didn't want to fall behind. But man, I was miserable. I could do the work, but it drained me. What I loved was storytelling, whether it was writing, making videos, or just having deep convos with people. So, I made the scary decision to pivot. I started a blog, then a podcast, then this channel. And while it hasn't always been smooth sailing, I've never felt more aligned with who I am. Because now, I get to use my voice, connect with people, and inspire. That's my strength. So, if you're stuck, confused, or just feeling meh about life, try this. Go back to your roots. What lit you up as a kid? What were you naturally drawn to before the world told you to be realistic? And here's a thought. Maybe your strength isn't flashy. Maybe it's not something that gets thousands of likes on Instagram. Maybe it's patience, or loyalty, or kindness. Let me tell you, the world needs those strengths just as much, maybe even more. Look, we live in a world that's obsessed with fixing flaws. There's always some new self-improvement trend or productivity hack. But what if the real hack is trusting yourself? What if you stopped trying to mold into someone else's idea of great and just leaned into who you already are? You are not a problem to be solved. You are a powerhouse waiting to be unleashed. So, write that list. Reflect on your 3 C's. And start showing up as the person you were always meant to be. Before we wrap, here's a quick challenge. This week, do one thing that uses your strengths. Just one. Maybe it's helping a friend, creating something, teaching, listening, organizing, building, dreaming, whatever lights your fire. Then come back and tell us in the comments how it felt. And hey, if you know someone who's been down on themselves lately, share this video with them. You never know how much one kind word, one small shift, can change someone's whole trajectory. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me. If this message resonated with you, drop a like, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos. We've got a lot more inspiring content coming your way. Stay true. Stay bold. And most of all, stay you. Peace out.